the room hosted, and he has joined. So we're gonna go in here. This is the finals of our first tournament, guys. It has been an exciting tournament. A lot of hiccups. As you can tell, towards the end we have less players, so it's a little bit easier to go off of. Go to shower.com and on the Alright, so starting off, neither of them really have any cards for turn 1. So turn 2, she's determining what to sacrifice. And I would expect to see something from her. Whether it be an Iron Hide or it would be a an antimatter, getting that draw engine out there. And maybe she's determined. Maybe she has both, and she's trying to determine what to play. Or maybe she doesn't have anything, and she's trying to figure out how she's going to counterplay her having this disadvantage early. Zeldar does have a lot of unexpected damage out of nowhere, so I think she'll be alright during these earlier phases. Zeldar has an advantage coming back early. So playing the Death Mage, Garth can easily kill off the Death Mage using his ability with Champion. I don't know if he's wanting to use his ability this early, but we'll see how he plays this this turn out. He will have 3 resources. We'll see what he ends up playing. Alright, playing down the Spirit Warner, and it looks like he did not use the Guard's ability, as I said. He's being a little bit more conservative with his ability, just in case Zeldar plays down the Fatty. I'm not exactly sure what he'll really use that for, exactly. But using off the Death Mage, I'm sorry, I am drawing a blank now. Using the Death Mage ability to finish off the champion. Kind of evenly matched as far as the field. There's no. I wouldn't say either one of them's at a disadvantage at all right now. I will say with the 2 extra draws though, Leah does have the slight draw advantage over her opponent. And with that ill-gotten gains, he kind of evens that up. So Garth does have his draw engine established. However, Zeldar can easily sacrifice, play down antimatter, and still be able to kill off her field. That is possibly what is going to happen. Or she could put more pressure onto the field. We'll see what she does. I imagine, yes, it's going to be antimatter. Try and get that draw engine out there, especially considering he already has his out. You want yours out there already available to you. However, Garth I say that he's in advantage to counterplay her more because he does have Stop Thieves. Whether or not he wants to hurry up and destroy it or to get that presence out in the field is up to him. But he does have the slight advantage as far as item destruction. However, as we saw earlier, Zeldar does have Streaks of Vengeance. Hopefully, Garth's a little smart and be able to hold off on some of it. Hold off on another. So, sacrificing Spirit Shuriken, I don't think he'll need it. I think that was a smart play as far as what he could have sacrificed. Because, although a lot of times, even if Zeldar does pile up allies on you, they're very, very weak. So, you could probably finish them off with allies that you play, or through just Garth's ability alone. And there's that Streak of Vengeance, just as I talked about. It's very odd to me. I honestly thought Garth, as far as item destruction, would end up destroying the items first. However, this will give her an advantage because even though she played an ally, she's still at risk of that ally being destroyed. Because as I mentioned, Zeldar has a lot of weak allies. So if she played down an ally, swapped over his turn, he played down Stop Thief, which happened, and he got that extra card because Stop Thief destroyed it. It's not only an extra resource, but it's an extra card as well, replacing the Stop Thief he just played. So I think overall that was a pretty smart strategy by her. I didn't really expect to see it early, but that was very smart, her playing that Streak of Vengeance that early and getting rid of that Draw Engine. Playing out that False Blood Cult list, having that Devourer, doing that 3 extra damage, may not have killed it, but it definitely helps, leaves it vulnerable to whatever she has to attack. Play down the Night Owl. It does not get stealth because she does not have the clear advantage over the allies here. Verb is really creating this pressure now. Zeldar does not have any wave clear. However, he can kill off allies rather quickly though. So it kind of that's pretty much why he doesn't have as much wave clear as some of the other heroes. I will say though, even though he has the allied advantage, I think overall Leah has the advantage here just because of the options of play she has. She has a lot more cards in hand in his store than what Garth does. So that's going to give him 1 extra card. Hopefully he can establish his Draw Engine. He really needs the ill-gotten gains or a hit list or something similar to that nature right now. When he kills off this Krygon, be able to draw something off of it. Ooh, and Oliver Fagin having that down, saving that. That's a really good ally for Garth to have, that Krygon. If I was him, I'd probably keep that in my hand for a little bit to do some unexpected damage to anybody. Because if you think about between Garth's ability and Krygon's instant haste and Krygon's effect, he can kill off a rather good fatty. Zeldar doesn't have too many fatties throughout her deck. However, it still is a very good card to keep in hand. It probably helps anyways because Fagin definitely goes off of that scaling attack per card in your hand. As I mentioned before he played Oliver, I was expecting more so to see a Draw Engine. However, it was very interesting to see that Oliver and take that Krygon away from her. Playing down that Mind Control, that does help. It gets rid of that big fatty. Does some little bit extra damage to Garth. However, it does leave her vulnerable on her field. I don't think she's in too much trouble though. Neither of them have Draw Engines just yet played down. And she has the card advantage. Not to mention she does have Soul Reaper. So she is able to recover any damage taken this early. However, if he keeps pressuring her like this, it may not be a valid option by the time she has it, just due to the fact of how many allies that she'll have in her graveyard. With 6 resources in hand, I'm not sure of exactly what she can do here. She has tons of options though, I'm sure. She has 5 cards in hand, 6 resources. Zeldar's ability is still left, and the only ally right now is the Eldon, which is only 4 health. So it's not like it's a massive field of power against him. Using that ability, we'll see what she plays. She has tons of options, whether it be a Krygon, a Death Mage, and it will be a Krygon. I just love that full Krygon. I am so jealous. More likely go and attack to waste their ability because it's going to probably die anyways. So you might as well get that extra damage out of it. So I was really expecting to see some Twilight tribes and some other tribes make it through the finals. We did see one tribe make it to the semifinals from Osiris. However, in the end, more traditional plays from Shattered Fates expansion. I've seen a little bit here as far as Sinkhole and a couple others, but it's mostly all Shattered Fate on down. I haven't seen too much of the Lost Lands expansion in these 2 decks. So these guys are really relying on what's already been present in the game and some of their old tactics more so in trying to establish those new tactics in the meta. Playing down that shadow vein, getting that shadow energy regeneration, which is going to really help considering Garth's ability doesn't really do too much for him because Zeldar doesn't have a lot of pressure. If Zeldar has some mind controls in hand, I think she can easily come back, especially if she can get a Soul Reaper here very soon. However, she is in trouble here. She's in a lot of trouble actually with him playing down another Anchor Breaker. She desperately needs a Soul Reaper right now. Playing the Leylon Nunix, that buys her a little bit of time, but she still, as I mentioned, she still needs that Soul Reaper. And who knows, maybe she's holding off that last second before she really needs it. I think it's a little risky, though, because Garth may have that Visca or some of the other haste allies in hand. And he ends up skipping his turn completely. I don't know if that was a mistake or he's just rather not play something. She's going to go ahead and use his ability, considering she's going to have enough strategy energy next turn again for it. And with that, it might be possible for her to end this very, very soon. And with that armor, she's even securing her lead even more, making sure he doesn't do that final damage to her. Granted, he may have a stop thief, but that's going to reduce him half his resources because he'll only be at 4 resources at that point. I don't think he'll have anything to finish her off at 3 resources. Okay, so now he'd be at 5 resources if he did have it. Granted, he plays down an owl. Night Owl. That's game. That is game. Great match, Leah. I honestly was thinking Garth is going to win this towards the middle, but again, great plays here, player Leah. She definitely knows her decks. As I mentioned, she plays them hours on end. She's more focused on her strategy, more so than what her opponent is doing, it seems. However, Verp is, as I mentioned before, Verp is very versatile. I expect him to come back even stronger in this game. That was a relatively close game this round. I expect next round to be even closer. So, we'll see if that actually happens. And so far, I think Leah's been very dominant. She plays one way. She's one. I guess she is kind of one-dimensional in the sense of her deck for this deck strategy. She only plays one way. She's like, I know what I gotta do. I gotta establish that late game, go off that discard system, and finish them off. Verp can kind of switch up his strategies on the fly of what he needs to do, and so that's why I think this is going to be a little bit closer this round. And I don't think they'll play anything on turn 1 again. I think it will be back and forth. Okay, so I'm sorry, Garth doesn't have anything on turn 2 this time. Well, Leah has something on turn 2. If so, it's kind of the reverse of what happened last time. No, neither of them have anything. It's playing down Sabrine. We got a little bit of spammers in the chat, but it's alright. Doesn't affect the match any. So Sabrine's going to do damage to the Zeldar, creating the establishing field presence, getting the first blood on the hero. Death Mage coming through, doing the 1 damage. It's probably setting her up for Zeldar's ability next turn, being able to kill off Sabrine plus an ally. We'll see if the Death Mage sticks around though, because Garth does have his ability, or he can also play down something else to finish off the ally. He's got tons of options here. Sabrine's ability, just attack with Sabrine, play some haste ally to kill it off. Uses Garth's ability and attack with Sabrine. Tons of options to kill off this Death Mage. I don't think it's going to be around too much longer. Okay, so there's a different strategy other than what I just mentioned. So now she doesn't have to attack it. She can go straight for Zeldar because that poison effect is going to kill it off this next turn. Alright, so we'll see if Zeldar ends up using his ability to finish off the Supreme. What I kind of predict and what I think they're hoping for is a False Blood, sacrificing that Brimstone. Was just about to say it. But got the kill on the Supreme. Establishes field control once again. Kind of a back and forth match here. So I think it's just a testament of who's going to break first, who can't follow through to the next play, which is very interesting because both of them are running out of resources here. Neither of them have draw engines, and they're both running out of options of play here. As you notice, their hands are starting to dwindle. Zeldar does have more cards, but I expect it's going to be very similar to Garth's after this turn. And maybe not. She does have the draw engine out. So this gives Garth a little bit of a breather here. He doesn't have to worry about any pressure. Sabrine took no damage. She has field control. He really needs a draw engine though. Whether he plays down a hitless and wait for it to be up, or he plays down an ill-gotten gains. While he has to establish his draw engine, he also has to keep in mind that he's got to get rid of their draw engine. This is looking for a Krygon, yes. Man, every time, she just has everything on point. Everything that you think of. You're just like, wow, she probably could play this and clear off the whole entire field, and that's exactly what happens every single time. Perfect ideal draws, perfect ideal combinations. As I said, Leah, she's practices her decks a lot, and she knows exactly what she wants to do, and she's playing them when she needs them. Nino having that, ooh, okay, never mind. He will not have, hidden. Granted, she plays down any allies, it will go back to hidden, so a Krygon cannot kill it this turn. But Shadow Vein certainly can. He is definitely gonna, can't hide from that. Boosting up Zeldar Shadow Energy. She has enough for the ability. Granted, gives Garth one, but without allies on the field, Garth's ability is pretty much useless at this point. We have definitely seen Verp come back from worse matches than this, so we'll see if he can come back. The antimatter. Getting those draws up. She is definitely not in pressure here, so she can continue furthering her lead while keeping on the keeping the field at bay. I'm sure she's probably scouring her deck, looking for some Shriek of Vengeance. That way, just in case he plays any ill-gotten gains, it's there. I think Garth kind of gave her too much of a lead early this game. It might be due to just bad luck on draws or possible misplays from the early sacrificing stages. That Ankle Breaker will finish off the last durability of that Shadow Vein. Granted, Zeldar definitely got all 4 Shadow Energy from that. Garth does have some fatties in his deck that might possibly be able to help him this game, such as Armor, Sandworms, and Viscos. However, I think it will be a struggle because we have not seen one Mind Control from Zeldar, and he is over halfway through his deck. So, with that in mind, any fatties Garth plays might be to Leah's advantage. He still has the advantage. Garth still has the advantage as far as health, and he just cleared off the field. Just established his draw engine. I predict it's probably going to be destroyed here very soon. Shriek of Vengeance. I don't think Leah's too worried about this health advantage right now because she has excellent pressure on Garth. Regardless of the health that you see right now being 14 to 22, Leah has the lead. If you're a newer player and you based everything on health, that is clearly a deception. Playing down the Death Mage, although he can hit with the Ankle Breaker and disable it, it's not going to do too much with his hidden passive as far as taking off attack because it does not have any attack in the first place. Finally gets that ill-gotten gains and gets that antimatter off the field. I'm sure he probably in his head is thinking, there you are, where you been? But clearing off the field, got rid of her draw engine. I predict there's probably another antimatter hiding out in her hand. Playing down the Shadow Vein. We'll see if she plays down the Antimatter. Going for the throat here. She's like, I got enough Shadow Energy. I can use some of it. Time to cash it in. Finishing off the durability of Ankle Breaker. Playing down the Brimstone. Doesn't really need it too much in her hand. She'd rather get some damage out there on the field. With this type of pressure against him, I'm not exactly sure how exactly he's going to come back from this. Playing down 2 Night Owls. I don't think 1 Night Owl would have been enough for her. I think he needed 2, because even though it would be hidden, he just used his ability to kill it off. I'm not exactly sure. I imagine he would probably want to have attacked. Ooh, no, never mind. Canceling the ability, using the mind control, going straight for the champion. Going to use Zoldar's ability, more likely to kill off that remaining Night Owl. Now here comes the attack from the Brimstone and the attack from the weapon, doing an additional 4 damage. He's going to have 6 health left. And I don't see him lasting more than another turn. He's got to make something happen this turn. Playing down the ill-gotten gains a little bit too late, though. Alright, there might be a possibility he lasts one more turn. If we see a Krygon or any other type of haste ally, this is probably GG now. I think this match is pretty much one-sided, though. I think Leah has it. I don't see any way for Garth coming back from this. Here comes the ability, and I expect she'll attack with the weapon, and I'm assuming that Garth is... oh no, a spell armor! That's exactly how he killed her off last time. So cruel. Deja vu. And there you guys have it. Leah Vivina is the first SEG Tournament champion. Congrats to her. Congrats to the runner-up, A1 Verp. Excellent, excellent tournament. Excellent plays.